Hey, good evening. This is Jan. We're going to have a very quick video tonight. My goal is to really dig deep and introduce you to things that are so important. And we wake up each day and we're so busy that we don't even focus on this. And so I'm hoping you'll take a minute and more. I'm hoping you'll stay long enough to learn what you really need to learn, basically to love yourself and to give yourself a moment in time. If you haven't done this before, if nobody's sat you down and taught you about this, the purpose of a piggy bank, the purpose of saving quarters, the purpose of very early in life taking someone into the bank and opening an account and saying, this is my wealth. Even a little baby, instead of just going to the store and buying clothes, why can't we open up an account or do a whole life policy where at the end of the day, at the end of 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, and the child wants to go to college, we can say, oh, congratulations, and we have the money to make that possible. So let's sit down with each other, and I'm praying, hoping, wanting that each one of you call me and ask for a conversation. And more than that, Jan, how do I get started? Because that's where we kick this off. That's where we get serious. And that's where I change your life and empower you to be better, more, love yourself again. So it's all about that manifestation, not I can't do this, or I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or I came from the wrong side of the track, but how do I get there? I'm going to overcome every adversity, every obstacle, and I'm going to make this happen. So if you can take 5 things out of this lecture tonight and write them down and make them real. And if you need to repeat them, call me, write me, text me, be with me to allow me to empower you to be great. Okay, so today's lecture is all about investing in your future. Not in that latte, not in that dress, not in anything other than growing a tree. So this is one idea of many, and we, of course, will go over many. But today it's all about learning about the mutual fund and building the mutual fund, meaning the basket of stocks, with stocks specific to the S&P 500. Okay, so it is the 500 stocks, growth stocks, that based upon their price earnings ratio and a couple of other indicators become this basket, very strong at specific periods of time, but over time seem to maintain or grow their value. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, and that's what's going to make you smart. Well, not saying that you're not smart already, because you probably are, but let's just discuss this. So to achieve a financially secure life and, add to that a happy life, it's possible. And even when we're focusing on financial constraint, what does that mean? It means that taking that little bit of money each month that you made on the side, or you saved from little things that you thought that you needed, becoming disciplined, okay, and growing wealth. So that takes time, that takes commitment. Maybe that takes time and commitment to devote to finding the best of the best financial advisors. Maybe you want to connect with me and make a difference in your life. So a mutual fund is basically a basket. They call it a pooled investment vehicle. We're going to put a bunch of stocks in this basket and then watch it grow. Now, some mutual funds will buy and sell into different stocks based upon how the market is going over time. A lot of mutual funds are diversified into a variety of asset classes, one being biotechnology, another one being the internet, another being large cap growth, maybe oil or Nabisco for one, a company that's been around forever. Coca-Cola, another one that's been around. Do we want to invest in that? Do we want to invest in NVIDIA? AI companies, anything that will make a mark and grow and have a certain have a certain amount of stocks that are traded on the marketplace, as well as a certain market value. And we will get into all that. Normally, a mutual fund is professionally managed by a group of money managers that watch over this carefully. A lot of times, large corporations will invest in mutual funds and have their employees get involved in these funds if they're the risk ratio is a little bit on the lower side rather than a high risk strategy. Mutual funds are not as, you can access the funds if you want to. You can buy and sell shares easily, but getting out and in on a dime, it's probably better to hold on to these mutual funds for a longer term period of time, although that's not always the way that people invest. So it depends upon what your risk management criteria is and what your timeline is as well. So investing in the S&P 500 is a powerful way to build wealth over the long term. So by understanding the strength and stability of the S&P 500, representing the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States, investors, and that means you, can harness the power of compound growth and avoid the pitfalls of overspending or impulsive investing. So you take $1,000 in 2000 and put it into Apple computers or NVIDIA, and you've held on to that $1,000 for all this period of time, or $10,000, and by golly, your income would have grown significantly. We don't want to say exactly the sum, but we know that money placed somewhere in a very sound investment for a long period of time builds wealth. And that's amazing and more amazing. So how do we invest? Well, first of all, we determine what is our goal and our time horizon and our risk tolerance. And we start. And someone comes to me and says, Jan, I aim to get here by then. And I say, in order to do that, you're going to have to put aside an additional $500 a month in order to make that happen. And they say, you know what? I'm serious and I'm ready to commit. And so they do it. And we look at the risk acceptance, and are they willing to take on the risks that may be apparent in the S&P 500 account? Because you may lose, you may go down 10% over time, but you'll make 30% if you hang on for the long term. So just like when you're having a baby and there's volatility in the fetal monitor strip, there's definitely volatility in the stock market. So you have to be aware of that. You have to understand that. You also have to have the best performance ratios over time so that it fits your lifestyle perfectly. We open an account, and the account requires your social security number. Usually you can do it for yourself. You can do it as a gift for a child. But you know that once you open that account, it's not something that you're in for 5 months, 6 months. This is something that you're in for years. And once you make that commitment to that relationship of owning that investment account, you want to commit to that for the long term. Like for me recently, I opened an account for my newborn grandson. And 20 years from now, it will have a significant amount of money in it for him to go to college and wherever he chooses. So that's not something we're touching in the next 5 years or even 10 years. It's something we're holding on to for 20 or more. So you make the initial investment and you commit. So what is a commitment? It is a decision to trust, to have that integrity, to go for the long term, to know that there's ups and downs in the market, but you will build over time. And you can do that in, as we're talking about today, the S&P 500 investment account. You can do that in a whole life insurance policy that is comprised sometimes of S&P 500 stocks. But we manage, we monitor, and we grow funds. And as I've said many times, over time, we grow a tree so that one limb becomes your income, the other limb becomes your health insurance from your job, the third limb becomes the 403b from your job, the fourth limb becomes this S&P 500 account that you farm out to somebody, a money manager who really knows what they're doing, and they manage the risk on your behalf, and you grow wealth. And then you buy a house, and that's another part of your investment arm. So we're never stopping, we're continuing to grow. So when we invest in our mutual funds comprising of the S&P 500 stocks, we can do that for just about anything, for college funding, for wealth building, just to grow us and make us and our retirement well thought out and well planned. So you may be one of the lucky ones, or how do I say, not so lucky ones, to take on a very large inheritance at a very young age. You have no idea what you're doing. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy myself a boat. And I'm going to go buy myself, another yacht. And I'm going to go buy myself tons of clothes. And I'm going to travel around the world. And before you know it, a lot of the money is squandered. And perhaps uncaring people who thought, or you thought they were helping you invest, actually squandered more of the money. So better to right out of the gate, find a fiduciary who cares and invest very, very soundly for the long term in a stable S&P 500 account, for a stable and diversified foundation to build your long-term wealth, which you really need. So when you invest in someone you trust and your money that you want to trust will grow for the long term, they will provide valuable guidance, advice, and personalized strategies to help you navigate the complexities of the financial market, the ups and downs, because that becomes cruel to many. Okay, so when we trust, and we know that the S&P 500 tracks the performance of the 500 largest publicly traded companies, we evaluate these to consider every key factor: the company's financial performance, growth potential, and competitive positioning in the marketplace, which is key. We look for valuation, determining whether the stock is traded at a reasonable price, because we want to get in, hopefully, at the best valuation, not the highest price of the stock. We also want to look at the management team. Have they been there for a long time? Do they know what they're doing? Do they care about you? And that's really important. We want to know that our eventual goal is the first reaching 100,000 early. However we have to do it, we want to get to 100,000. Why? Because that's our first benchmark. It's like getting to first place. So we want to get to that 100,000. It's much easier to grow after that. And how are we going to do that when we're starting from zero? Well, we're going to consistently contribute. Today, I went out for pizza with my daughter-in-law and son, and I announced that the first two accounts for my gorgeous little grandson, one is a whole life policy and one is the S&P 500 account, and I will be contributing every month for the rest of his life. So we're going to diversify because he's going to be in top rated stocks that will grow with compound interest over time. We're going to periodically review this account to make sure this little guy can go to college and more. So we're going to look at each fund, and we're going to hopefully pick a fund, whether it's the Fidelity Contra Fund with the annualized return of 15.4 or the Vanguard 500 index fund for 12.6. But we're going to make it happen. The average of the S&P 500 is a 15%. Real estate is 10%. The bonds are 3%. You choose. The secret of getting ahead is to get started. So please get started. Okay? We're going to focus. We're going to emphasize. We're going to look long term. Again, we're going to make sure that the power of investing refers to the compound interest that comes with keeping these stocks over time and growing your money. If you look back in 1991, around the time a little bit later when I became a stockbroker until now, okay, if you just invested and rode it out and stayed clear from 1998, 1997, all the way till now, you would have been a wealthy person. So just be patient and just grow your money over time. So value investing is an investment strategy focusing on identifying undervalued stocks. So sometimes we're going to add some of these to our portfolio, knowing that over time they will increase in value. So let's look at some people and what they did. At 25, our candidate secured a well-paying job as a software engineer, determined to save and invest. At 27, he opened his first retirement account and started contributing a portion of the paycheck. At 30, he researched and invested in a low-cost S&P index fund, gaining exposure to the stock market. At 35, he increased his retirement contributions, taking advantage of an employer match program. At 40, he diversified his investments into mutual funds. At 45, he reviewed and adjusted. And at 50, he reached financial independence, able to retire and pursue his passion. Bravo, bravo. Oprah, a highly successful TV host and media mogul. She was born in Mississippi. She rose to fame as the host of a talk show. And now, my golly, she is financially independent after saving, strategizing, and growing her wealth. It's all about budgeting and saving. It's all about debt reduction. It's all about income generation and investing in mutual funds. So the best investment you make is the investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. Steve Jobs, the former CEO of Apple, widely considered one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. His net worth over $10 billion, a testament to his innovative vision and leadership in the technology industry. He lived his passion. He breathed his passion. And he said, keep going until you find your passion. So Jeff Bezos' wealth steadily increased over the past 4 months, reflecting the strong performance of Amazon stock. Martha Stewart, a well-known American businesswoman, television personality, author, and founder of Martha Stewart Living, widely recognized for her expertise in homemaking, cooking, and lifestyle, plus being financially independent as well. The Duchy of Cornwall is a private estate that provides the heir apparent currently Prince Charles with an income. It is one of the principal sources of Prince Charles' wealth. Prince Charles' estimated net worth is around $400 million, making him one of the wealthiest members of the British royal family. Prince Charles owns several properties, including Highgrove House, Burke Hall, and various other estates and land parcels through the Duchy of Cornwall. In addition to his real estate, Prince Charles has a diversified investment portfolio, including stocks, bonds, and other financial assets. Despite his wealth, Prince Charles is known for his philanthropic work and has established several charitable organizations, such as the Prince's Foundation and the Prince's Trust. So as we grow our wealth, we're able to be more philanthropic. So we look at these various indicators when we purchase stocks. Number one, the price to earnings ratio, the dividend yield, the earnings growth, and the debt to equity ratio. And these are what we would want. We look at Elon Musk, the vision behind Tesla, the electric vehicle company that has revolutionized the automotive industry. One of the wealthiest individuals in the world with an estimated net worth of over 200 billion, not million, but $billion. Musk's success has been driven by his innovative approach to sustainable transportation and his ability to turn ambitious ideas into reality. And interestingly enough, one of Musk's children is very, very frugal. And it has led Musk to rid himself of many, many grand estates and actually transform himself and create a little mini company of mini homes. My goodness gracious, to a daddy who cares and has money. Let's just keep on dreaming, growing, building rockets, and changing the world for today and tomorrow. So we need to invest more. We need to save more. We need to really focus on our future, okay? And so with that comes enough eating, enough sleep, enough rest, and enough focus on valuing each dollar that we make. So let's start by manifesting today. We've gotten to this part of the video. I pray that some of you have lasted till now, because now the power comes. Now, together, we speak our power. Now we say, I am a money magnet. I am prosperous, and prosperity flows to and through me. I am worthy of increasing my income. I am good enough to be rich. Money flows to me in various ways. I release all negativity. I welcome an abundance mindset. I receive all the abundance of life. I embrace unique offers of income. I realize unlimited wealth in my life. I realize and release negative financial energy. I am whole. I do love me. I am free of all negativity. I am healthy. I am strong. And hug yourself, please. The best way to get rich is to build a business that earns $10,000 a month in recurring profit. So go for it. Don't say what, go for it. Make it happen. A couple was inspired by the opportunity to invest, and they did it. They just did it. We do it for ourselves, for our security, for our happiness. We smile because we know that happiness is a vibrant garden filled with the vibrant colors of blooming flowers and the cheerful chirps of birds, the place where sun shines brightly casting a warm glow on the lush green and the smiles of all those who bask in its radiance. So today, we build a dream. We quit the corporate job. We pursue our passion for music. We launch a music production company with seed funding and angel investors. And we release a chart-topping album that generates significant income. We expand the business by opening a recording studio and signing a new artist. And we invest a portion of the company's profits into a diversified mutual fund portfolio. Then we meet a chef, a visionary, an entrepreneur. He poured his heart and soul into creating a 5-star restaurant, a culinary destination, with a relentless pursuit of excellence and a commitment to providing an exceptional dining experience. This chef not only achieved financial independence for himself and his family, but has elevated the city's gastronomic landscape to the highest level possible. We know that all these people we speak of have self-love, self-belief in the impossible, and those are the foundations for achieving one's dreams. We can transform ourselves step by step through persistent effort. This slide explores the concept of personal growth and development, essential for individuals seeking to invest in their future and reaching their potential. So with gratitude, hard work, and a positive mindset, I manifest a life of abundance. I hold my arms up and I secretly hug you and embrace you and tell you it can be done. A life of abundance, joy, and financial security for myself and my family, for you and your family, and for all and their families to be achieved. We're so happy that you joined us today. We know that manifestation does not just happen. Manifestation comes with hard work. And with hard work and gratitude at the end of the day, we are all better for it. This is Jan Attard. I'm joining you today, key to manifestation, okay? Hoping that you all rise up and hug each other and say, let's make this happen, okay? Let's create a burning desire to create a free and financially fit lifestyle. Let's go on and travel and enjoy whatever days we are graced with, and let's enjoy. All my love to all of you, each and every one of you today. Be healthy, be strong, and most of all, love yourself and your family. Have a lovely, lovely day. Thank you.